All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. Just make sure that you have a pillow. So welcome everyone that came into class while we were all talking. We will need a pillow, but not quite from the beginning. So for now, you can put that pillow off to the side or just let it rest onto your lap. But one thing you need to make sure you have is your body and a chair. So we're going to sit ourselves right in the middle of our chair with your feet planted underneath your hips and like even spread your toes as wide as you can. So you have a nice strong like grip that you can grab the ground with your toes. And so we're just kind of like bringing awareness to our body from the feet up. So I want you to start to lift and lower your heels. Okay. And where we're going to start the class off with is a little bit of lymphatic massage. So if you are in the category of if you have any sort of heart challenges or problems or issues, if you're currently fighting off something like a cold or a flu, or you're just not feeling 100% today, so we're still just lifting and lowering those heels. Or if you have an infection that you're fighting off, are working through, just skip this part. It'll only take us about 10 minutes out of the class to work through. But while we're doing this, this is kind of helping to pump the blood back up to the heart. So if you're not familiar with the lymphatic system, we're going to start alternating one heel up as one heel goes down. You go as slow or as fast as you need to. But the lymphatic system is, I heard a great analogy where it's like, if the blood is what brings the groceries in, so like it delivers the oxygen, the nutrients, the minerals to your body, then the lymph is what takes the garbage out. So we need our body to detox and metabolize everything that we breathe in the air, that we drink in our water, that we eat from our food, and even the things that we wear on our body and put on our body. So now go ahead and lower your heels down. And this right leg, so my right leg here, I want you to start to lift and sort of like bounce it up. So it's called rebounding. So as you're rebounding, and you can even like use your hands to kind of help it up, but the point of it is to like get the muscles again to pump that lymph, that blood back up to the heart. So you're just going to do one more on that right side and then switch over to the left side. So I'm rolling through my foot, heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe. And so that little bit extra, but like a dynamic sort of jump or a hop of your foot gets the leg muscles pumping that blood and lymph back up to the heart. 2 and 1. Then rest the feet down, kind of maybe shake out the legs, or even just rub your hands onto your thighs. All right, and then with your arms, just shake them out a bit. You can start to look from right to left, left to right. And as you're sitting tall here, you're in the middle of your chair, think of your posture. So can you sit up even taller? Your hips, your heart, and your head are all stacked on top of each other, okay? So if there's any movement that we do or any like massage that we do that sort of like is uncomfortable or discomforting or definitely painful, like don't keep going with it. Like no pain, no gain is definitely not where we want to be. So with the start of it, we're going to stop to the side. Start by bringing your hands cupped around your neck. Okay? So cup them around your neck. Yeah, it might be helpful to take off some of the dangling earrings if you're wearing any, and gently just pull the skin down to your collarbones. So this is not meant to be a massage for your muscles, but like I said, a massage for your lymph. So it's almost going to feel sort of like you're petting yourself. So you're just gently stroking the neck down from the sides of the neck and just explore the movement here, the back of your neck. And you can give yourself a gentle yes with your head as you kind of move your hands down. You look down. As you move your hands to start back up at the top, you look up. And then you can do it at the front of the neck. Kind of stroke down right till you get to the bones called your collarbones. And so just doing this helps to open up the lymphatic channels where a lot of nodes or a lot of the sort of like intersections of our lymphatic system rest, like all up here in the chest and the armpits, things like that. So you can even like alternate one hand at a time as you're warming up that lymphatic system. All right, so then with a sort of like a C cup of your hands, you're going to create just a little bit of pressure here onto the tops. So onto the tops of the collarbone. So like right up in there into that crevice. So you don't have to like do that what I just showed you, but just that little press down. And so now you're pumping the lymph sites here. And you can move inward, outward. So the collarbones will go all the way, like right here towards the sternum and all the way out to the tops of your shoulders. Now, what's interesting about the lymphatic system is that it helps with pain in our joints, okay? Because we're getting all of the inflammation around the joints to move, to get rid of that inflammation. So it's very helpful for pain if you do have joint pain. Now you're going to take one arm. I'm just going to take my left arm up on top of my head. And then the right hand, I still have that C cup of my hand. I'm going to cup my armpit here, okay? And so what I'm doing with my hand is just kind of like closing it and pumping that armpit. So if you know anyone, or maybe if you know someone in your family, or if you have been that person who has survived breast cancer, you know that the lymph sites, like they need to remove the cancer right away because a lot of lymph sites are around the breasts for women. And with that, you know, the armpits, after you like get the tissue removed, then there's a lot of stuff that has to happen to keep the lymphatic system healthy and moving so that the toxins don't continue to spread the cancer throughout the body. Okay, and so after we're done pumping, left arm stays, your right arm still in that C cup. You're going to shave down or scrape down or pet down that left arm. And just kind of like, I'm giving myself a little gentle like wiggle in that armpit just to kind of like shake those lymph sites around. Ooh. So you just heard me take a really big breath in. And at least for me, on a personal note, when I do a lymphatic massage, I typically do it like before I'm about to get into the shower. Liz mentioned earlier, like dry brushing is another great way. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Right hand on top of the head, C cup with the left hand, and first just pump the armpit. So kind of like you're trying to squeeze something out there. But yes, lymphatic massage before a shower so that all of the warmth can kind of help to keep the lymphatics moving through the body. But if you typically notice yourself or with your body, like if you're puffy in some areas of your body, around your ankles, behind your knees, in and around your hips, like especially again, if things are feeling like tight or painful or discomforting as you're moving through your day, or like as you get closer to the end of your day, that might be a sign that like your body isn't quite metabolizing or moving the lymph like it needs to. All right, C cup, drag it down the arm. So the reason why we have this right arm up is to help gravity help us with the lymph. So you can even stretch that arm up and even like milk the whole arm all the way down. But I understand like sometimes it can just be tired to just hold that arm up. So just let it rest onto your head. You have the arm resting onto the head or the hand resting onto the head. Oh, but there it is again. I take that big inhale in and out because like that just feels like a good release for my body. Like for me, typically I do get a little puffy around my armpits. And a teacher once told me like they should be armpits, not arm puffs. So if you do get a little puffy around the armpits, then that could be another sign or an indication that a lymphatic massage in this chest area can be helpful for you to help your body, like I said, metabolize the toxins and detox from what you're smelling, what you're tasting, what you're drinking, what you're putting on your body. All right, so then from there, reach the arms up and shake them out, bring them down. And then reach the arms up, shake them out, and bring them down. This is also a great way to help kind of warm up the body for what we have planned for class today. Okay, and you don't have to go out to the side like a stone, you can go out front. You can even start to lean forward, bring the arms behind you, lift up. And we're on a roller coaster here. It is wee. Maybe we're at a concert. All right. Then from there, it's gonna feel like George of the Jungle. And I'm sorry if I hit the mic a bit. I'm gonna move that out of the way actually. All right. So then with your hands, just start patting the chest, going down to the belly, under the ribs, and right above your hips. So the lymphs, they respond best to movement. Okay. And this is the best way to kind of move the chest, the belly, and the torso, is to actually like bring movement to it. So as you're moving up and down, ooh, again, I feel that like big inhale, exhale. My body is like kind of releasing, relaxing, and like, oh, this feels good. Take that big like through the body. All right, so then with your hands this time flat. So I've got my hands, you can either stack them on top of each other or hold them next to each other. Actually, I'll stay right here. We're gonna start at the right hip. Okay, so right hip, and this the reason why the direction matters is because this is how our digestion naturally flows from the right ascending colon. It goes up. So we're just gonna go up a couple times. We'll do 6, 5, 4, 3. And remember, we don't want to get like deep and dig into the muscle. We just want to sort of like pet the skin or even pull the skin. Last one. Then you're going to take your hands and go across. I'm using the heel of my palm mostly to do so. And this is called the transverse colon. Okay, so it comes across, it transverses from right to left. And then I'm going to use my left hand to kind of help with a little bit of more of that pressure. So from right rib to left rib. So especially if you do have any troubles with digestion, or if you feel bloated, or maybe you just can't release, this is a great, again, like exercise to do to help things move along. So from the left rib down to the left hip. Okay, so now I'm using both of my fingertips, but not digging in. I'm keeping the palms flat and just getting that gentle pressure. 4 more times. Whew, goes that breath again. 3, 2, and then we're going to add it all together just to make a big circle. So you're going to go from left hip to right hip, up to the right rib, across to the left rib, down to the left hip, and repeat. 5, circling around. 4, 30, two, and nice, last one. Okay, now you do need to lean back a little bit so that we can open up. Ooh, that chair is cold. Open up through the front of the hip pocket. So imagine if you had like the last penny is at the bottom of your pocket. You kind of have to like stretch the legs out in front of you. You can even straighten them if you need to, but the goal is to keep the front of your hips nice and flat and open. So with those open palms, just patting the hips, opening out to the outside, coming right into that crease where the leg comes to the hip, or the leg comes to the torso. So on this one, I sometimes like to do a little karate chop. So karate chopping into that space where the leg meets the torso. It's like the perfect tool that fits right there. A little karate chop. And then I can go to the outside, kind of alternating right to left or both at the same time. But basically anywhere you have a pit, you know, your armpit, your knee pit, your hip pit, are where a lot of the lymph nodes or intersections where they come to and meet. Sometimes that's where we can get puffy. So now we're going to come back up into your seated position and keeping your legs slightly bent. So they're not like all the way up underneath you, but they're not even at that 90 degrees. So you can step your feet forward just a little bit more. You're going to reach forward, and with that like cupped hand position, you're going to start to pat the back of your knees. So one way to kind of do this, like the whole series that we just did rather quickly, is if you're able to, is just to come up and start hopping. So rebounding, like we did at the beginning with just our one leg, that rebounding helps everything to just jump and flush and shake it off. This is one way to bring the movement to the specific area of our body. Okay, then keep going down to your ankles, kind of wrapping around the back, the side, the front, and the inside. All right, and then not a C curve, but more of like a bear claw. So bear claw your hand. And all you're going to do is shave up the legs to your hips and give the hips a little wiggle. And then repeat, go down from your ankles. And now I'm going up the sides of my legs, coming and ending at the front of my hips and giving it a little wiggle. Back of the legs, through the knee pits, coming around the side in front of the hips and giving it a little wiggle. And then inside of my ankles, through the inside of your knee pits and inside of your hips, giving it a little wiggle. Okay. Then we're going to do it one more time. C-cup the hands, scrape up the front of your legs to the hips, and then last time to the back of your legs and to your hips. All right. So that was just a little precursor to the class for today, a lymphatic massage. Hopefully you feel like, just see if you notice or if you can differentiate a difference between the beginning of the class and right here, just 10 minutes in. So if you can, great. If not, maybe you need a little bit more lymph massage. So we're going to start with our pillow when we're ready to move right between the thighs. So we're going to start to warm up the legs here. Now you do want to give that pillow a nice squish so that your feet and knees are still about hip distance apart. It's okay if they're a little wider. It's okay if they're a little more narrow, but we want to try to keep things in alignment. So just be aware of how your posture is, how your body is positioned during our movements for today. All right, so that little squeeze, you're going to probably start to feel the inner thighs working a little bit more. Hands just resting down by your side. Like we started, lift your heels, lower your heels. We're here for 10, 9. Now, when we do Pilates, the breath is in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you exhale out through the mouth, try to feel the core, so like from your ribs to your hips, the center of your torso, starting to engage and pull or cinch up towards itself. 5. Exhale as you lift the heels. 4. Kind of like representing with my hands what's happening with the front of my body. 3. Okay. Last 2. And 1. Okay, so lower the heels down. We're going to make it a combo move. Lift the heels up, squeeze the knees even closer together, open the knees hip distance apart, lower the heels down. Lift, squeeze, open, lower. 4 more, 6 total. Now, while you're doing this, you could be looking down, but just make sure that your head is still in alignment with the rest of your spine. So more of like look down your nose at what's going on if you need to look. Okay. And this is where having maybe a mirror in front of you, last 2, or having your camera turned on that you can see yourself could be helpful here. Last 1. All right. Now we lift up your heels, just the right leg pulls in and out, like you're doing a little dance move here. Heels are still lifted. If you need to lower the heels down, keep them down. You got 6 more. 6. Now resist the urge to kind of just like lean the body over to the left as your right leg moves. This is where it's subtle, it's tiny, it's mighty, but where your leg moves, we want to keep the body still. 3 more times. 3. Heels will stay lifted in 2. And 1. Right leg stays still, left leg moves in and out. 10, 9, 8. And if you need to, like I'm doing here with my hand on my leg, keep it there so that you know that like, okay, this leg's not moving, this one is. 5, 4, 3, 2. We'll be doing a lot of coordination today in class as well. So this is where listening skills as well as like slowing down the movement for your pace will be beneficial. Okay, so from here, I don't know if you can see it, my name is in the way, but if from here, you're going to lift the toes up, lower them back down. Lift and lower. So we have a muscle in the front of our shin 7 more times. You're still keeping that squeeze of the pillow, but that muscle in the front of your shin is very important to help us, like we're doing now, lift your toes up. So if you are able to walk, you're not going to trip over your toes when you're walking around. Last 4. So this is a great way, when you are seated, like try to alternate with like when you're at the dinner table. 2. And 1. You can do these exercises at any time. Now, here's the trick. Your right foot, your toes lift up, but then your heel stays on the ground as you slide it away from you and try to lift it up, pull it back down, heel, ball, then toe of your foot touches. Left toes, pull up like there's a string pulling it up. And then you keep pulling it up, reaching it forward and up off the ground, and then lower it back down to the ground. Okay, so we're going to do 3 each side. You got 2 more. Right toes up, slide the heel forward until you can lift it up. Now we are trying to play like a little bit of connect the dots here. So your hip, your knee, and you're sliding it so far forward that hip, knee, and then heel can align with each other. We do one more each side, and then we'll add on. Right toes, slide the heel, lift the foot, and bring it back down. Left toes, lift, slide the foot, reach, and then bring it back down. Awesome. Okay, so then we're going to add on with that. Your right toes lift, your right foot slides, and as it starts to lift off of the ground, turn your gaze to the left. Bring it back down, look center, slide it back. Pick up your left toes, slide the foot away. Once it starts to fly away, look to the right. Bring it down, pull it back, rest the foot. Two more each side. Right foot, slides, lift, left gaze, and bring it back down. Right? So with the look from side to side, our body wants to twist with the gaze. Don't let that happen. Keep your shoulders forward, your hips forward, your legs and knees forward, so that when we twist, we're kind of activating through like the unilateral side of our body without actually turning and twisting with it. Okay? Our body works in like X fashions. Last time, left side. So you may have heard, like, if you're using your right hand, you're engaging the left side of your brain, vice versa. When we work and turn and twist from one side to the next as we work the opposite side of the body, it starts to be more of like a brain workout not a workout, but a brain workout with our workout. It's pretty interesting, the data on it. All right, so now with your feet, your heels together. Okay, you're going to lift your heels up, keep them together, and lower them back down. We'll start with just the 10. You got that pretty good firm squeeze on your pillow. Your posture is stacked up tall as if you're leaning against a wall. Now, because of like the society that we live in, the culture that we live in, we're always on our gadgets. So like typically we're here, that forward head posture, whether you're texting, maybe driving, eating, looking at a book, whatever it may be. So try your best to feel the lift of your head, like there's an antenna coming out of the top of your head to the ceiling. And there may even be a very slight, you don't want to give yourself 3 chins here, but a slight gentle tuck of your chin under you so you can feel that stretch of the back of your neck. Now hold your heels high and lifted. And from here, can you straighten your right leg off to the right side? Bring it back down, lower your heels, lift them back up. Now, because our knees have turned out, like they are turned out because of how the heels are connected, your left leg reaches out to about 10 or 11 o'clock on that clock face. Then lower back down. 2 more each side. And you can even add that gentle twist to the left as you reach that right leg to the right. Lower the heels, lift the heels, reach the left, look to the right. Lower the heels, lift the heels, reach the right leg, look to the left. Bring everything down. One more time to the left side. We're going to add on with the movement, now adding into the arms. So reach the arms forward. Okay. Lift the heels up. Okay. When your right leg goes out to the side, I want you to twist or turn your left arm back behind you. Then bring everything back to your start position. Both arms forward, both heels connected, lower the heels down. Lift the heels up. As you kick the left leg off to the side, turn and twist and reach the right arm to the right side. And then bring it back in front, lower the heels. 2 more each way. And you might have 1 more because maybe you're going faster. This isn't a race, but it is helpful if you do slow down the movement to really make sure you're getting it right. Pull back center, lower, lift. Straighten the left leg, reach the right arm. Now on this one, you'll notice the torso does twist on this. It has to. Like when that arm is moving, it's not just the arm, it's the torso, the spine that's wringing itself out like a wet towel. And so now you're just kind of increasing or turning up the volume of this rotation. Last time, left leg, right arm. And when you bring it back, center, lower the heels. Let's even take that pillow out, just rest it onto your thighs. Maybe you can like give your legs a little bit of a windshield wiper, side to side, a little butterfly, open and close. All right, so now pillow, to the ground. Hopefully it's not the pillow you sleep on. But on the ground, right foot onto the pillow. So if you need to, you can move it off to the right side. Right foot on the pillow, left foot on the ground. So feeling the difference in sensations of surfaces. Obviously, one's going to feel a little more cloud-like you're resting or stepping on a cloud. Okay, now I do want you to hinge the body back. So your butt is in the middle of your chair, but now your back is up against the back of your chair. If your chair doesn't have a back to it, maybe position yourself up against a wall and let that be the back of your body. So you are going to press into your right foot, and how much can you lift your left leg? Put it back down and release that right leg. Maybe you even lift it for a moment to then press the right leg back down, lift and pull the left leg towards you. Lift and hover that right leg, okay? Or just relax it. So you press down to lift up. It's not just like we're pressing down just to press down. You press down in order to lift up. So then hover the right leg, press it down, feel that push-pull that's happening in your body. And this is where we can add on, you use the arms in opposition of your legs. So kind of cup the hands, you're not making a fist to squeeze or punch somebody with, but just close the hands. So as the left leg lifts, the right arm is sort of running up next to your face. Left leg goes down, right arm goes down. Right leg comes up, left arm comes up. So it's like a slow motion running band, but really emphasize that press of the right, the pull of your left leg, and the arms are just going opposite. That's all. Let's try 3 more. I'm exhaling as my left leg is coming towards me, and exhaling as I'm lifting that right leg up. 2 more. Last one, left leg up, right arm to face, left leg down, right leg up, left arm to face. Okay. Now, can you reach the arms out in front of you using your core to pull yourself upright and then just slide that pillow over to the left foot? Okay, right foot's on the ground, left foot onto the pillow. Reach the arms out in front of you. Instead of just collapsing onto the back of your chair, can you slowly use your abs to hinge to the back of the chair? That's farther away than I thought. So maybe you cup the hands, close the hands without squeezing them, and just hold them in close to your side. Press the right leg down as you lift your right leg up. Left arm also comes up with it if you're taking that option. Maybe you're just focusing on the legs for now. The arms don't have to move. They don't even have to be a part of this. But I'm always just giving people options depending on which level your body may be at today. So like maybe you're killing it. You're like gold star student during this class today. But if you go back and look at the recording on another day, every day is different. So maybe the next time you come to this recording, you're like, dang, I don't know what's happening. What's going on? I can't do this move. And I remember I could. Have some grace for yourself. Have some compassion for yourself and your body and all that it's able to do for you in this moment, right here, right now. Think of lifting the legs up with your powerhouse, your core. So the powerhouse, we talk about that a lot in Pilates. That powerhouse is like a diamond shape of your core. So think of like your pubic bone, your 2 hip bones, and the belly button. So that creates a little diamond shape, and that's where we want the core, the tension, the engagement to engage from. All right, 2. Right leg, left arm. Last one with the right arm, left leg. And final time, left arm, right leg. All right, then reach those arms out in front of you. Take an inhale. As you exhale, think of pulling the navel towards the spine and lifting yourself upright to stack hips, heart, and head into alignment. Rest the hands onto the legs, and let's even scooch that pillow underneath both of our feet. Awesome. So under the feet, doing a little bit of that rebounding. Go as quickly or as slowly as you want to, just kind of pumping those legs out and flushing them out. 5 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then you're gonna use the pillow as more of like a hurdle or a cone that we're going to be stepping over and on top of. So first step, right foot out, then left foot out. You can even hold underneath of the chair to make sure that your body isn't just tipping from side to side to do this. So both feet are out of the pillow, stand up nice and tall from your sits bones. You can push down into your hands or hold the back of your chair if you need to. Step the right foot back onto the pillow, then the left foot. Right foot, left foot, back in and on. So by keeping our torso still, we use a little bit more of the obliques, the side abs here. So basically those muscles are, important to help to keep us from like collapsing onto one side of our body. So we have to use the other side to help hold ourselves up. And most people have a stronger side, a more challenged side. For me, myself, like I have a little bit of scoliosis. So there is this like sort of just constant crunch that I'm on with my right side. So now we're going to switch. You're going to go in with the left, then the right, out with the left, out with the right. If you were alternating and you were going right, left, right, left, just keep going. Just keep marching those feet back and forth. But for me, I'm in this constant rotation where it's basically like a crunch to the right side of my body the entire time. So I have to focus and really lift myself up and focus on more of the left side working to hold the upright posture that I'm working towards. All right, I'll do two more. We'll end with the feet on the outside of the pillow. So not this one, but the next one. On, off, off. So now we can use that pillow and squeeze it between your ankles. And mine's giving a little dome here. So I'm going to make sure I'm right in the middle of the pillow, giving that squeeze between the ankles. So now imagine not just the pillow between the ankles, but now also between the thighs. So instead of letting your knees collapse together, you're keeping them at the same distance that your feet are. Okay. So you're going to turn your toes out. You can't see this because my pillow's blocking the view. But then as you turn your toes in, give that pillow a deeper squeeze. And it might not look like much because you can't see anything really moving inward, but feel those inner thighs really working for me. So all you're doing is pivoting on the heels of your feet. So if my hands are just showing you what my feet are doing. Out and turning in. I'm inhaling as I turn out, exhaling as I turn in. And then really focusing on keeping those toes lifted so you can work more through the front of your calves. You do as many as you can, but we're going for about 10 here. So you got 4 left. As you close, exhale. As you open, inhale. For 3. Always listening to your body first and foremost. 2. Last 1. Then parallel the feet so your toes are facing forward. Open out the legs so you can let the pillow rest back onto the ground. And for a moment, you're just going to kick that pillow out of the way. You may want to use it for this next set of exercises. I'm just going to show you what's happening though. So feet, I have them hip distance apart. You can definitely start them wider if you want to go harder or more challenge for yourself. You may have to lay or hold yourself back with the hands onto the chair or just lay back against the back of your chair. Again, just work with the level that you're at today. Right foot first. It's like you're kicking a soccer ball. Pull it in and then put it back down. Right leg, 7 more times, 8 total. So we have a muscle that goes from the outside of your hip to the inside of your knee, called your sartorius. Okay. I always remember, what does the sartorius do? It's it helps you to cross the leg over the opposite leg. I don't remember the song, but the song that we came up with, we were in anatomy class, the last 2 was, I think it wasn't Puff Diddy, but left side 8 times. But there was a song back in the 90s and it went, I can't even remember what the original song was, but the song that helped us remember the muscle of sartorius, we made this whole song group up of just different muscle names. But it goes sartorius. If everyone remembers that song, just sartorius. I don't even know if I'm doing it, if that is giving it any justice of what song I'm even thinking about. But I think it was whoever P. Diddy discovered him. He was from New York. Last 2, pass that soccer ball to the right with your left foot. And last 1. All right, so now this is where you can use that pillow as a little bit more of a challenge. So your feet are stepped wider, and now the pillow is hot lava. Okay, so you don't want to touch the pillow. It's the same movement. We're only going to do 6 of these, 4 to 6. If you need to scoot your hips back a bit or just move back so you can lean back onto the chair, also great options. So you have to lift your leg up a little higher using more hip flexor and core, and then pass over the pillow. Again, don't touch it. Come back out and then down. So if you're like, nope, don't want to use that pillow, then don't use it. Okay, maybe you're just doing that whole sequence again without it. 3. Got 3 more. 3. 2. And last one, then repeat on the left side. Lift it up, get the clearance off of the pillow, and then turning like you're turning a light bulb into your hip socket. So the leg bone is what's twisting to get that foot and knee. Foot turns in, knee turns out. It's called external rotation through our hip. 3 more. 2. And 1. Oh, I think I touched the pillow on that one. Disqualified. All right, so now reach down and just take a nice forward fold. And we're going down to pick up the pillow, but for now, just like punch your knuckles down to the pillow. Rest into this forward fold stretch. You could even sway your body gently from side to side. Try scooping your tailbone a little bit more down under you so you can feel a little bit more of that low to mid back stretch without creeping your shoulders up towards your ears. So sometimes when our arms, might not feel like it, but when our arms reach up overhead, think about it, your arms are over your head, even though we're in a forward folded position. We think that we're helping ourselves by creeping the shoulders up by the ears, but we're not. Okay, we want to stretch the spine. It has nothing to do with the shoulders. Now bring yourself back through center. Pick up the pillow, press into your feet, and stack one bone at a time. All the way back up. If you need to take a moment here, like if you're feeling dizzy or flush, take a moment, take a breather. And that pillow is going to go back behind you. Okay, just tuck it out of the way. And I want you to scoot yourself back so all of that pressure is squishing and making that pillow a pancake. Okay. Now, if your legs aren't long enough to where your feet are still on the ground, you don't have to put as much pressure into the pillow. You can maybe put some books or blocks underneath of your feet so that your feet, you do want them pressing into something, not just like dangling like a little kid at the kids' table. Okay. So feet pressing into the ground. Press back into that pillow with as much pressure as you can manage for today and reach the arms forward out in front of you. Thumbs up, palms in towards each other. From here, we rotate and turn to the right. Look at where that right hand goes. Twist, twist, twist. And then exhale, come back center. So inhaling the left arm out to the side. Watch where it goes. And then exhale, come back center. So with the pressure that you're putting on the pillow, notice when you turn to the right, your left side of your body, especially the shoulder, is going to feel lighter or even come away from the pillow. Let that happen. So to emphasize that, you can even reach the right arm or the arm that's in front of us out away from you even more. So as I turn to the right, my left arm is kind of shoving forward towards the camera that's in front of me. And look at that, I can twist a little deeper back behind me with the other arm. As I twist to the left, right arm reaches to the camera. And then exhale, bring both hands back out in front of me. One more time, right. Keep pressing and standing into your feet. Exhale, center. Last one left. And exhale, center. Good. With the arms still out in front of you, start to lift your shoulders up and lower them down. This is called elevation and depression of your scapula or your shoulder blades. So when we elevate, and if this is, too much to hold the arms out in front of you, you do the same thing. Just shrug and say, I don't know, and then lower the shoulders back down. I don't know, lower them back down. But with the arms out in front of you, you help to work a little bit more of strengthening, of being able to hold the arms or hold something out in front of you. Think of like your daughter, your grandson, like whatever it is out in front of you, and you're like, oh, they've got a stinky diaper or they need to be changed. Okay, then from there, when you lift the shoulders up, reach the hands forward more. The visual that comes to mind here is like a choo-choo train, like an old-timey choo-choo train. So the shoulders lift up, pull forward, go down, pull back. Lift up, pull forward, go down, pull back. Up, forward, down, back. And if you need to bend the arms a little bit, it's kind of like helping with the motion. You straighten the arms out as you reach forward, pull the arms back as you pull the shoulders back. Reaching, rolling, pulling, reaching, rolling, pulling. Switch directions, reach, lift, pull back, down, reach forward, lift up, pull back, and down. Repeat 5 more times. That's 4. And this is another, like we didn't include this in the lymphatic massage, but this here is another great exercise to do to help to keep that movement of your lymphatic system. Now, shake the arms out a bit, shrug the shoulders around a bit, just get some movement back, like get the blood flowing back to the hands, the arms. And now your left arm stays down, your right arm reaches up like you have a question. You can even grab underneath of your seat if you want to make it a little easier. But if your hand is going down on its own, you have to work a little bit harder. So this is where we work the obliques to pull ourselves back up, switch right arm down, left arm up, and reach over to the right side. Exhale as you come back up. Inhale, switch to go down. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, switch and reach over. Exhale, back up one more time each way. Then both hands come up to the sky, interlace or pancake the hands behind your head and put it like more at the base of your skull at the top of your neck. So you're not like pushing your head forward. If anything, you're giving your head something to push up and back against. So now if you can lean back into that pillow even more, open the elbows wider so we come into a gentle extension through the spine. Then lifting yourself up tall. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see how that looks from a profile. So as you inhale, lifting the gaze, the heart up to the sky, the ceiling above you, and then exhaling, pull ribs to your hips, stack the spine tall. So in Pilates, there's always the principles applies, the control, the precision, the breath work of the movement. But what also classifies Pilates as Pilates, from the way that I learned it, is that the spine moves in all 4 directions, technically 5. So this is one of them, extending the spine to open the front of the body. And then we're going to counteract that. So once you come up straight, release the hands and you can press them onto your thighs and just slide down. And we've already been here before when we went down to pick up that pillow, but this is your flexion. It's a great counter stretch from all of that extension we did. Now, what I want you to do, if it feels okay in your body, press the hands into the backs of your calves, your legs or your ankles. And so the more you press into your legs, the more I want your middle and upper back to lift and press towards the ceiling. So I'm pressing into my feet as well to kind of help that pressure or that stretch a little deeper. Then from there, let go of the hand, slowly roll yourself up. So that was already 2 of those movements of your spine. And we've already done the other 2. It's a little sneaky movement here. So it's not really sneaky, it's just maybe you don't know. But the side bending that we did, so let's do one more just to kind of refresh. The side bending, our lateral flexion, is where the spine moves up and over to one side. Come back up and switch. Maybe your hand rests to the chair or reaches down to the ground. And then come back up. Right? That was the other movement. And then our rotation. This time, hands out in front of you, feet planted flat. I want both hands to rotate you to one side as you exhale. Then inhale, come back through center. Notice the significant difference, the more challenge that it is when both hands are together versus just letting one arm just reach back and you're like, la-di-da, look how far I can go. So with both hands, you can even bend the elbows and keep it closer to the heart with your hands to make it a little less strenuous. Okay? The further the hands are away from you, the more strenuous it becomes because not only is it heavier for you to hold those arms out in front, but there's also more like reach that has to happen here. Good job. We'll do one more to the left or right, whichever way you started. And then one more to the right or to the opposite side from the way you started. Awesome. All right, good. Shake out the arms a bit. You're gonna take that pillow out from behind you and place it, excuse me. Okay, this is not a good, like, don't drink water with bubbles when you're teaching a class, and you're just gonna keep coming up. Sorry. So the pillow is like standing on my legs. So it's okay if it starts to bubble or collapse. Again, we just need something that we can press down into to feel the backs of our arms, the triceps, as well as the space behind our armpits here. So this is where your lats are. A lot of our muscles in the back is how the arms move. So if you think about how the arms are connected, if you look at like a musculature or an anatomical version of you, the arms connect to the back. Sure, there's your pecs, the muscles in the front, but think of moving always, always, always from the back when we move our arms. So you're gonna start with your elbows bent, like tucked in tight to your side. So if you need to move that pillow a little closer, see how my elbows are right next to my ribs, okay? And then from here, we're gonna press and try your best to straighten your arms. So I'm just like completely shoving that pillow down, doesn't matter. Like how tiny can you get that pillow? Bend the elbows, bring the pillow back up. This is your tricep extension. And think of, as you press down, can you lift your spine taller? So this is a sort of like baby version or a modified version of what we call in Pilates chest expansion. So as your arms are pressing down, I want you to think of opening, remember the collarbones that we touched on with our lymphatic massage, opening them wider. So think if like your shoulders can pull back as your chest opens out in front of you. And we can do that without thrusting your chest forward or flaring your ribs out while still maintaining your posture. So just straighten the arms, widen the collarbones, and then pull back up to your starting position. Two more. And the last one. Very good. Now that pillow, once it comes up, you're going to hold the sides of it. Okay, so this is not the prop, but it is a sort of similarity to a prop that we use in Pilates called the magic circle or the Pilates ring. And basically the way that we're going to use this is not like we're the Hulk and we're trying to just smash the pillow. So again, don't move from the front of your body. Can we close the hands together from the back, from your armpits? So let's do it without the pillow first. Just rest it onto your lap and hold your imaginary pillow or your magic circle in Pilates. And think of your hands, your palms, trying to close and clap towards each other. Okay, then open back out. So you can create your own resistance here. You're moving through quicksand, honey, molasses, whatever else, like just really super thick, gunky water as you're opening and closing those arms. But I want you to feel, and maybe you have to do it with just one arm, so you can actually like touch the back or behind your armpit as one arm pulls to the center and then opens back out to the side. So that's where I want the movement to come from. And that's where we really connect to the precision of the Pilates movement. So grab your real pillow, if that felt okay. Otherwise, you don't have to use the pillow at all. But hold it up in front of you. I'm just going to turn to the side here. And then as I squeeze the pillow, again, look at the posture. There's nothing that changes here. And it may not even look like there's a lot going on. But I feel that back of my arms, back of my body is lit up. So those tricep extensions, that chest expansion that we did was all in preparation for this one movement here. Trying to open the collarbones, lift a little taller, the antenna of your head coming up to the ceiling. Just four more. Exhaling as I squeeze, inhale as I open. For three. There's almost a sensation of like hollowing out my armpits too. And last one. All right, let the arms rest for a moment, maybe shake them out a bit. There's one stretch that you can do if you do have a back of your chair. Your arms come behind you to hold the sides of your chair and let yourself lean forward away from the chair. Okay, if it feels okay in your body, can nod the chin down to your chest. Go slowly, go gently. Lift the chin, the chest, up and forward, rolling the shoulders down the back a little bit more. Change the grip. Turn the thumbs up. So if your thumbs were turned down, you're now palms turned out, thumbs up. So now I'm gripping on the inside of the back of my chair. Now that will depend on if you do have like the hollowness of the back of your chair. So again, lean forward into it. I can come much further forward with my thumbs turned up and my palms turned out. Again, that just depends on your chair, your body, and the space that you're working in. Chin down, chin up, open through the collarbones in the chest. You can even look up even further to get a gentle neck stretch in the front of the neck. And then pulling yourself back up, stack the spine tall, grab the pillow again. And again, if it feels too heavy during this movement, don't do it without the pillow. Okay. We are now going to hold and squeeze. So from the back of your body, from the back of your arms, hold that pillow and lift it up and lower it down. Now, when I say up, we don't need to lift it up all the way overhead. For me, that's as high as it goes before I start to lose my posture. So see how I'm flaring my ribs forward? That's a no-no. If you're lowering down and you feel yourself collapsing through the spine, that's also a no-no. Just try to stay upright, hips, heart, and head into alignment. And it's literally just from the shoulders, moving and hinging up and down. Now, if you do notice any creaks or crunchies in the shoulder or in the joint, try it without the pillow and see if you can just move the arms up and down, almost very robotically. I'm inhaling as I lift, exhaling as I lower. And then try giving that at the top, give that pillow a little extra squeeze. Lower down at the bottom, give that pillow a little extra squeeze. One more time, lift, give it that little squeeze, and then lower, give it a little squeeze, and then lower that pillow back down. Nice. So then taking that flexion of your spine, nod the chin towards the chest, open your legs and roll down to place the pillow down. It's a big one here. We're going to put it off to the side, roll yourself back up, and twist myself forward. All right, so then stretch out the body. Our final stretches here. So a little bit of a turn, especially if your chair has some very hard edges like mine does. I'm straddling the left corner of my chair. Now, if your chair is more rounded, you obviously don't have to do that. But opening the feet so that if you were to pull your heels together, they would eventually come together to touch underneath you. So feet, toes are turned out at like a 90-degree angle. Hands to your thighs and lean forward in for a really good story. The more you lean forward, the more I want you to press your knees and thighs out. So we're getting a nice little inner thigh stretch here. We add rotation. So this is an example of how the spine can move in two different planes of motion. So we've just hinged forward, a little bit of flexion through the spine. You're going to press into your left thigh as you turn and twist your torso to the right. Okay, come through center. And turn and twist to the left. Two more each way. Just wringing out your torso, your spine like a wet towel. We're going to be aware that we don't want to just like lean into it and just collapse through it, but keep yourself somewhat lifted, so engaged through the back body. And then after that last time each side, go ahead and stack the spine up tall. I'm stretching my right leg out away from me. Okay, I've pulled my toes up towards me, but my left arm, elbow, comes down to the thigh. Reach the right arm up and away from the right leg. Take a big inhale here. There's your lateral flexion, your side bending again. And then come back up. Keep your legs as is. Now, if you want to take it further, slide the hand, the leg, or the hand or the arm down the leg. You have the option to bring the hand all the way to the ground, as long as that feels, not too precarious, as long as you feel like you can come back up out of it. Okay, if you did bring yourself down and you're like, oh no, I can't come out, bring your elbow up to the knee and press yourself up out of it. Okay, take whatever option felt good for you, elbow to thigh or hand to the ground. Last time, reaching up and then coming back up. So using those obliques on the right side of your body to pull your ribs right above your hip again. Bend your right knee, straighten your left leg, turn a little bit to the right or to the left, rights and lefts, so hard. Turn to the left and bring your right elbow down to your right thigh. Reach the left arm up overhead. Big inhale here. Exhale, lift back up. So notice one side is going to feel a little tighter than the other. For me, it's this side. And I think that's just because over the years, my scoliosis, it just loves to remind me again and again, like, okay, Rhea, you got to work on your mobility on the left side. Stop strengthening so much on the right side. I do a lot of demos on the right side. I'm right-handed, so that does cause some inhibitions there. All right, so then we pull that left leg back in, take one more rotation, hands to the inside of your thighs, hinge forward, rotate right as you press left, rotate left as you press right. And then come back up. I'm going to turn myself back to face forward, and left ankle comes on top of the right thigh. So remember when we pass the ball, okay, there we go. Lift that leg up. You've passed the ball and you're just like watching to see if it went into the goal. So you can hold the leg if you need to, but definitely make sure your toes are pulled up towards your knee. You could even press that left knee down or use your elbow and hinge your body forward and give it a little extra TLC. The more you're pressing, and you don't have to like grind down and press hard as you can into it, but the more you press, the more will open up that back of your hip where the piriformis is, where the glutes are. Trying to think of like what else is back there. Your external rotators, like those are getting a really good stretch through the hips. Thumb, and then come back up. Switch the feet, left foot down, pass that soccer ball over to the left side with your right foot. And then you either stay right here, maybe this is enough of a stretch, maybe you need a little bit more, but always make sure those toes are pulled up. Flexing that foot will activate through that tib anterior muscle, that front shin muscle, and help to protect the knee joint. So if you're ever wondered, like, why do I have to flex the foot? Why do I have to do this? There's always a reason, at least in my classes, at least when I teach. Like the human body is such an amazing, it wants to heal itself. It wants to move. It just like the brain is meant to think and do these problems and figure things out, the body is meant to move. So that's why, motion is lotion, movement is medicine. Lift up, put that foot back down, give your legs a little open and close, a little back and forth, maybe side to side. And then with your right hand underneath of your chair, just give your torso a little bit of a lean to the left, and you may start to feel that side of your neck opening up. And this is where you can use that left hand to increase the either stretch or lymphatic drainage. So with my left hand, I'm petting down the right side of my neck, and I'm even like giving a little bit of rotation through my neck. Again, just be very gentle with yourself. So as I look to right to left, feeling the intensity of the stretch as I change the direction of my gaze. And then come back up, left hand underneath the left side of your chair, lean to your right. Oh, I gotta scooch to the right. Lean to the right, and even your head, your ear comes closer toward your shoulder. You don't even have to use the hand, just look down to your right side and look over to your left side. But if you want to increase that stretch or pull down the side of your neck, on the top of the shoulder, use your right hand. Brush, pet, pat, or simply just stretch the skin as you're turning from left to right. All right. Go ahead and come back up. Whew, there's that big breath again. So that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for attending class, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do have any questions, I'll stop the recording in just a moment and you guys can stay after and talk for a bit. But yeah, for the lymphatic massage, always just remember we want to brush towards the heart. So if we're coming from the neck down or from the hips up, we want to brush towards the heart. That's why when we're at the legs, we're brushing up towards the hips. So just rule of thumb there. There's also some great YouTube videos. Google's always like a great friend for things like that.